live? Are you still listening with me?
We're live.
We're live. Are you sure?
Am I?
We're live about 4 or 5 times.
We're live. We're live. Go for it.
Okay, you're not kidding, right? Howdy, howdy. This is Clara Lawrence. Now for the flubbed up introduction, but that's okay. All right, so I am doing a continuation of the experiment that I did. And because I had so much fun and I got such a good reaction out of this, I thought I would try a couple other things. But let me show you what this is. This is just alcohol inks or dyes that I used that made this. And it was made from a silicone mat that has a texture to it. That literally I applied a whole bunch of alcohol ink, applied the mat on top of it, and you leave it alone for a couple of days, which sometimes is a challenge. Peel it up and you get the texture. So I was starting to think, what else can I do? And from feedback that I got from other people, I thought I would try something in particular. So we're gonna do some unveiling.
Can you read that?
I can read it if I put my glasses on. Uh-oh. You're about to knock over stuff.
Oh no.
In a very full studio. Hey, Janice! You saw the keys, huh? Yes, that is why I put the keys down there. It's for Janice. Hey, Diane. Central California. How's the weather there? Hey, Julie. Mikey's doing a dash downstairs and he's coming back up. Okay, so today's going to be a short video. I don't know if I said that or not. But I've got 3 that I'm unveiling. And no, I haven't taken the wood grain off yet. I've had great restraint. Actually, we've had a bunch of other things going on, so it was easy to leave behind. And I purchased some different metal keys just to try to figure out how they would do leaving them on the board. So what I did is literally applied the alcohol ink to the board, put the keys on top, but did not cover it up. So I let it air dry in a little bit more of an open area. So I'm curious about how that will do. I suspect some of the designs that can lay flat will show some impressions. Ones that are a little bit rounded might not. So I am curious, because the other part of it too is like the shaft of the key. I don't know what the parts are called, so bear with me. The shaft here is a little bit thicker than the detail that's on this part of the key. And sometimes that also pulls true for this too. So I was curious, what would it do? And the other part is I kind of want to get in my brain about, like I said, how this can be applied for both artists and also countertop people, especially since I'm kind of going into both worlds here. And so I wanted to figure out some textures that might pull across on that. And the challenge for countertops is you're not dealing with something that's small, you're dealing with something that's much larger. So your texture needs to be large to be able to encompass that. Because if I get the silicone mats for a countertop, that means either one, I have to put down a whole bunch of mats at the same time, or find a large mat, which doesn't exist right now. So let's get to it. You want to bring them down closer so we can see this one?
You betcha.
With the wood grain. Move all the parts off. Y'all see my messy studio? Alright. Well, I can bring it a little closer to you. Okay. Here we go. Ooh. That's kind of cool. And that one had a little bit of the opal in it, so you get some of that shimmer. But you can definitely play with your colors on this one pretty easy. That's fun. Well, this can be addicting. Like in a hurry. Okay. Alright, Julie, are you ready for this? Because you know you're going to have to be support for Janice on this one. Okay, So this is one I had a feeling on the keys that would not leave that much of an impression because of the round ball on it. But if you can get in tight on that, you see how it creates this echo wherever there's an object down in place. So here's another one here that didn't make a lot of good contact. But you can get a slight impression of where the design was for the key here. But you missed the unlocking mechanism, let's just call it that, without being... I'm going to get corrected on this one. That's okay. So I'm just going to start removing this. This one's got a little bit of brass in here. You get a little click here every so often. All right, now this one, you can see the dark ring around it. That meant a lot of alcohol got attached to this one because it probably made a good seal. Well, a lot of the design didn't come out. That's what the bottom looked like. So it was really flat on the bottom. So, kind of subtle impressions, not a little underwhelming on this one. I don't know if doing it undercover would help any because you're still dealing with the alcohol evaporating. So, I would say this is kind of on the, you know, if you wanted something subtle in the background, maybe, but not my favorite. Not my favorite if I had to judge. Okay. So this one, let me talk about this one real quick. I thought fabric might be a good idea, but I thought that a sheet of fabric might not have a lot of area for the alcohol to evaporate. Holes, way for the alcohol to breathe and evaporate. So I decided to go with something that was more of a sheer, like curtains, for instance, or a lace. And so that's what we picked up here. And all we did is I just had the weight of the board on top, and that was all. And just kind of scrunched it up. And it's probably going to leave some impressions where the cord is, but I don't know if it's going to give a folded fabric look to it. So. Okay. Doesn't exactly look like fabric, you know, but what it does look like is ice dyed tie-dye. It has that almost crystalline type of look to it. And this one here, like you saw me do the other alcohol inks where I'll kind of tilt it and move it around a little bit. This one, I just moved it with the heat gun. Just enough to get color all over the board. Just a tiny, tiny bit. So that's why I still have definite patches of purple and green and blue. And I kind of like that method a lot more than I do like tilting it. Because I get those patches of more of intense color. Like I really love this area in here. And in here, the geometric look is kind of cool. The fabric looks interesting too. In some spots. So, I think that this has a lot of potential for doing like a good background to play off of. I mean, imagine this in very, very light tones with like a hint of like an aqua color or something like that. That would look really pretty, or obviously the intense colors. And then doing layers of other things on top will look really cool. And then, well, it's wood. There's a lot of things you can do with wood. So use your imagination on this one. This is cool. So this would be my favorite, but this is not too far behind. What do you guys think? Let's see.
Julie likes this. She says far out. Jenny says you're shaking. I wonder if that was just before the release of the keys. With Julie says she's seen something similar with glass cabs, but never something so detailed. Interesting.
She's also snickering at you for saying wood.
Wood, Julie. She's fat. She's probably faster than I am on the whole. That's what she said thing. That's for sure. Let's see. Hello, Joanne. I didn't say hi to you earlier. And hi, Christine. Oh, Christine likes the fabric one. I used to do a lot of ice dye with fiber reactive dyes, and I loved it. It was a super simple technique. It was a type of dye that worked with soda ash, and the soda ash helped the dye bond with the fibers really well. And so what you would do is take your fabric, whether it was shirts or just straight fabric. Actually, I would do my undies and my bras too. And you'd soak it in a soda ash solution, as my son gets embarrassed behind the scenes. And then I would put it in some kind of tray and kind of scrunch it up, put a bunch of ice on top of it, and sprinkle the fiber reactive dye on there. And then as the ice melts, the dye starts seeping through the cracks of the ice and then bond with the fibers down below. And it creates this very geometric type of a look where you'll get these gorgeous blends here and there, but you also get some really sharp lines, and it does look like something. It's like, is that stone or not stone? And depending on the colors you used. Did you guys know that there's actually a rainbow wood out there that is a real tree? I don't know where it's from, but I've seen pictures of it. It's really interesting. All right. So, I am thinking about tomorrow and what to do. And I was thinking about playing with another dragon or maybe a horse. Any votes? And I'm going to do another masking fluid design, so I can do that up ahead of time and have it ready to go. So put your votes in now. What would it be, a dragon or a horse? What do you think I should do, Mikey?
I'm thinking, since all this magical colors here, maybe do a unicorn.
Do a unicorn? I haven't done a unicorn. My friend Lisa would be thrilled if I did a unicorn.
You're getting a lot of dragons, though.
I am getting a lot of dragons. I got one horse from Julie. Oh, hi, Rachel. She votes for a dragon.
And Janice likes the unicorn.
And Janice likes the unicorn idea a lot. Okay, why not? Let's do a unicorn. We'll just do that. Break out of the norm and, get myself out of my comfort zone. Got to figure out the whole horn thing through the middle and perspective drawing. Sometimes that's interesting and sometimes it's a challenge. All right. Until tomorrow. Check out my website, ClaraLawrence.com, where you can get some cool shirts and art. Not exactly these, but other arts and stuff like that. So, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow at 3:30. And we seem to be doing a normal now Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so we'll keep that pattern up for right now. I'm sorry, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 3:30. Next week might be interesting because Rhonda has her pro class and we all kind of meet down in Seguin and help her out with that. So I have to figure out what to do with that part of it next week. So you'll probably know on Tuesday. So later, y'all.